If a supplier answers which fan certification do I need, with 3 logos CE, UL, and CCC, the answer is incomplete. Certification follows the destination market, the exact product role, the installation, and the party placing the equipment on that market. A component fan inside an air handler is not evaluated the same way as a finished plug-in appliance. Start with a market access decision, not a logo shopping list. Lock 4 inputs before asking for documents. First, where will the fan or finished equipment be sold or installed? Second, is the item a motor, fan component, partly completed machine, or finished appliance? Third, who can access it, consumers, trained service personnel, or only industrial operators? Fourth, what are the exact voltage, power, controls, environment, and end use? Those facts determine the applicable rule set, the country name alone does not. For the European Economic Area, CE marking is the manufacturer's declaration that the product meets all applicable EU requirements, not a general certificate issued by one central CE authority. The manufacturer identifies the relevant legislation and standards, performs the required conformity assessment, builds the technical documentation, signs the EU Declaration of Conformity, and applies the mark. EMC may be one layer, while electrical safety, machinery, eco-design, radio, or other rules may also apply to the actual configuration. For the United States, buyers often say UL required, but separate the safety standard, the certification organization, and the authority accepting the installation. OSHA recognizes multiple nationally recognized testing laboratories, including Intertek. An ETL-listed product can be evaluated to a UL standard when that standard is within the laboratory's recognized scope. The purchasing question is not whose logo is most familiar, it is whether the exact model is currently listed by an acceptable NRTL to the correct standard for the intended use. China's CCC decision is also a scope decision, not China equals CCC. The official catalog includes electric fans under Category 0702, but its detailed boundaries contain inclusions and exclusions, including some ventilation fans used only in industrial settings where ordinary people cannot access them. Product purpose, rated electrical characteristics, accessibility, and installation therefore matter. For an ambiguous product, obtain a current classification from the responsible certification or regulatory channel before shipment. Never infer coverage from appearance alone. Next, separate the certification unit. A motor may be a recognized component, a fan assembly may have its own listing, and the finished air handling unit may still require a separate evaluation. Changing the motor, controller, cable, guard, housing, firmware, mounting, or protective device can move a product outside its evaluated construction. A certificate on one component does not automatically transfer to the complete machine, and a finished system approval does not automatically cover a different replacement component. Here is how to read a North American evidence document. The Longwell Intertek authorization to mark identifies the applicant and manufacturer, control number 502-2563, report 220400508HN001, centrifugal fan, UL 507 and CSAC 22.2 number 113, plus a coded model family. Those fields define the claim boundary. Before buying, match the shipped model and label to the document, then check the current official directory status, manufacturing location, and any conditions. A 2022 document image alone is not live status proof. The CE-EMC document shows a different boundary. It names 7 centrifugal fan models, cites EMC Directive 2014/30/EU, lists EMC standards and references test report KB 2206067E. It also says other relevant directives must be observed. That makes it useful EMC evidence for the named samples and technical file, but not proof that every Longwell fan or every legal requirement is covered. Ask for the declaration of conformity and technical evidence tied to the exact model and revision you will place on the market. ISO 9001 answers another question entirely. The bilingual Longwell file describes a quality management system for a stated organizational scope. Its companion pages address environmental and occupational health and safety systems. Management system certification can strengthen confidence in controlled processes, but it is not product certification and does not grant CE, ETL, UL, or CCC market access to a fan. Keep supplier system evidence and model-specific product evidence in separate columns. Then verify authenticity and currency. Read the product label, exact model code, electrical ratings, revision and manufacturing site. Compare them with the certificate or declaration, referenced report, evaluated standards, and directory entry. Check whether the status is active, whether the mark is the correct type, whether the factory is authorized to apply it, and whether modifications or private label models are covered. For CE, confirm the declaration names all applicable legislation and that the technical file reflects the shipped construction. The practical procurement tool is a market access evidence matrix. Give each model and revision one row. Add columns for destination, end use, product role, accessibility, applicable legislation, standards, conformity route, certificate or declaration number, report, model scope, factory, label artwork, database status, technical file owner, required buyer or installer approvals, and open gaps. The matrix makes missing evidence visible before a purchase order, private label change, or shipment turns a documentation gap into a launch delay. So the answer is not Europe needs CE, America needs UL, and China needs CCC. The reliable method is, classify the exact product and installation, identify the applicable rules, separate component from final system scope, match every document to model and revision, verify current status, and keep management system evidence separate. If you want Longwell to review a fan project, send the destination, duty point, exact configuration, installation, and required evidence. We can return a model-specific market access dossier with the open gaps clearly marked.